CUNY and CCNY, it's all about wanting to see everyone succeed as well as yourself. You don't just look out for yourself, you don't try to like sabotage people. You really do want to see your entire community succeed along with you. And I wanted to be able to do the same for others. Like I wanted to be able to be there to help uplift others, give them resources. Like this community has done so much for me, so now it's my turn to kind of give back as well. I've always been interested in STEM. Since I was a kid. I think the earliest interest I had was like in the science of weather. And then that kind of evolved into like really liking biology and neuroscience. And then that jumped to physics and landed on math. I actually used to be a terrible student in middle school especially, probably because I was undiagnosed with ADHD throughout childhood. Now I finally have it diagnosed, thankfully. But I think as a kid that kind of made it so that I was disinterested in school unless it was like my very specific interest. And then when I got to high school and I started to develop like an interest in math and I was in a much more supportive environment, like my teachers really supported me in high school. I started to become really passionate about math, started to study it on my own. Math kind of gives you the tools you need to kind of jump into any STEM field you'd want. Like you can always study it from a more mathematical perspective or computational perspective. And I think that's really cool because I'm interested in math for math's sake. But if I ever want to take a break and like look into physics or something, I can always like have the freedom to study it a little bit. I truly very strongly believe, and I'm very adamant about the fact that I think anybody can learn math as long as they're passionate about it and that's like something they want to do and they have the time to dedicate towards it. I don't really think it's a matter of like, oh, you are naturally talented in this or oh, you were destined to do this. I graduated from high school in 2020 and that was also when I started transitioning into college. For my first week of my freshman year, I actually had a house fire, so that just added to like being online, having a house fire, being displaced. It was pretty chaotic, but I just remember feeling so isolated the entire time. School is definitely a safe space for me, and that's one reason why the pandemic was so like mentally hard for me. I kind of looked at it as an opportunity to find what I really appreciate in life and kind of like do a little bit of soul searching, stuff like that. See what's really important to me and see this as an opportunity to rebuild myself from the ground up. I'm also really involved in the CCNY math club, and some of the things we've been doing are like crochet events and trying to combine like math and art. I'm definitely interested in like pursuing a math PhD, of course. And right now, I'm still exploring my mathematical interests. Going back and thinking back to my childhood, I was like, well, I've always been interested in STEM in general. So maybe kind of combining my math interests with a little bit of that physics interest I still have. So maybe going down more the mathematical physics route. And the thing about the mathematical physics route is you can still do things in like differential geometry, like cosmology research, but you can also kind of go down a bit more the algebraic route. There's definitely connections between number theory and mathematical physics. So it's kind of like a combination of all the things I kind of want.